Get ready to enter the Thrive Time Show.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here.
We started from the bottom, now we're on the top. Teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colin Dixon's on the hooks, I break down the books. Z's bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of five, that's why I'm alive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the C&Z up on your radio. And now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get.
Yes, 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 and yes. Thrive Nation, on today's show, we're talking about 3 things that I believe every entrepreneur needs to know. 3 topics that every entrepreneur needs to know to become super successful. The first one is, why do you have to relentlessly follow up on the same idea over and over and over until your head almost explodes? Why can't you just have a new idea and it executes itself? The second thing I want to talk about is nothing will work unless you do. So you, as the owner of the business, you're going to have to put forth that effort. And finally is the importance of creating a culture of discipline. So we're going to start off with a Jack Welch quote here for you. Jack Welch was the CEO of GE, who grew the company by 4,000% during his tenure as the CEO of GE. And he once wrote, "Good business leaders create a vision, articulate the vision, and passionately own the vision, and relentlessly drive it to completion." And folks, today's guest has relentlessly driven his ideas into fruition by building thousands upon thousands of franchise locations. Peter Taunton, welcome to the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. Good to be back.
Now, Peter, we have a lot of entrepreneurs that are hearing your voice for the first time. Briefly, tell us about the brands you've built, and then we'll get into today's topic there, sir.
So 3 different brands, and I'm building my 4th one now. My first one was SnapFitness, which is a fitness concept. 9 Round, which is the boxing concept. Fitness on Demand, which is once again back in the fitness, kind of the virtual fitness type settings. And then my 4th brand right now, which is Nautical Bowls, which is my most recent. I've launched it about 2 years ago, and up to 100, almost 190 locations right now. But the other 3 brands I mentioned earlier, big brands, been doing those for 25 years, and we have almost 6,000 locations in 28 countries. So big operations, big brands, big business.
So it's safe to say that you're the founder of, or co-founder of, SnapFitness, 9 Round, Fitness on Demand, and Nautical Bowls, which have over 9,000 locations that you've helped open. Is that accurate, sir? 6,000 locations that are actively open in operation in 28 countries. So it's a big operation. Wow. Okay. So let's talk about this first quote here. Jack Welch says, "Good business leaders create a vision, articulate the vision, and passionately own the vision, and relentlessly drive it to completion." Where do you see a lot of entrepreneurs missing the mark on that, in terms of maybe not being as relentless, or maybe they have an idea, but they don't see it through to fruition?
Look, you and I both know ambition is key. Without ambition, it's hard to get going, right? But I think people with vision, when they want to get into a business, the first thing they have to be very careful about, that it's not a pet project. In other words, first thing I ask them, look, it's great that you're ambitious, you want to start something, but number 2, and most importantly, make sure that the product has relevance. Make sure it has relevance in the eyes of the consumer, that you're not just the only one who's excited about it. And then the third piece of it is, make sure that it has trajectory. Make sure you can scale it.
Scaling it. Let's move on to our next topic. This is big here. Scaling it. This is big, though. This is a notable quotable from page 153 of my newest book here, called A Millionaire's Guide: How to Become Sustainably Rich. And folks, you can download that for free by going to thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire, thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire. So page 153, it reads, this is Jim Collins, the best-selling author. He writes, Jim Collins. By the way, folks, Jim, this is a guy behind the book, Built to Last, Good to Great, these sorts of things. He says, a culture of discipline is not a principle of business. It's a principle of greatness. So if you have all these wonderful systems that you guys create at Nautical Bowls, but somebody doesn't have the discipline needed to follow the systems, it's not going to work. Talk to the listeners about the importance of actually following the systems that you guys provide at nauticalbowls.com.
It's key. I mean, the discipline, and then right behind that is accountability. Obviously, without accountability, nothing matters. So for us, and like most successful franchises, you'd like to think that they've put together systems and processes and a playbook, if you will, And the goal is to just follow the playbook day in, day out, consistency, discipline, accountability. All three of those things work together hand in hand. And you can't have success. I personally, Clay, I think that any brand out there that's experienced any kind of success has balance on those three pinnacles, which is discipline, accountability, and consistency in good practices.
You said, I'm taking notes here. You said discipline. I want to make sure I get this. You said discipline, accountability, and what was the third one there?
Consistency.
Okay, consistency.
Consistency, meaning you're consistent. You get up. Some people think, well, call it your Dream 100. Okay, your Dream 100 candidates, which is something that you talk about often. Calling on your Dream 100. Okay, Peter, I called on them. Okay, when did you call on them? Last month. Okay, have you called on them this month? Literally, for us, we talk about you're going to get up every day and you're going to be plowing up new ground. Every day, it's all about getting Google reviews. It's getting people in your doors. It's getting people to try your product. That relentless, consistent effort, it never stops. And some people think they can do it. I did it this week. I'm good. I'll do it again next month. First week of the month, that's what I'm going to do. We tell them, look, no, it's what you do every day, that consistency, that discipline, those good material movements that drive the success of your business.
Now you're just getting me fired up. So I'm going to think of two examples that are right in my wheelhouse today. These are actual real case scenarios of people that I know that I want to get your wisdom on. One person I'm thinking of, we'll call him Dave. Dave's his name. We're not going to give his last name there because Peter, his nickname, his code word will be Dave because Dave's his name. And he has a business with multiple locations. So people have actually paid to buy a franchise from Dave because Dave has a system that works really well. And Dave, that's the code word because that's his name. Dave has some franchisees that don't want to do the work. They've bought the franchise from Dave. Now, this is the situation. I don't own the franchise. I'm not the creator of the franchise. I help to develop the franchise. So I don't have an equity piece here to kind of clarify this. And so Super Dave is a client, a great product. I mean, phenomenal product. He's a great guy. And these early franchisees, it's not big brand yet. I think it's going to scale, but these early franchisees, they don't want to do the Dream 100. Which, by the way, the Dream 100 system in this particular case, it's in the health space, and they make a list of businesses that are nearby. They need to stop by and offer. It's not a food, but they offer a sample or a tryout or a trial of this service, and then they're supposed to get Google reviews from the happy customers. And he's to a point now where I think his head's about ready to explode because the one location that's rocking and rolling, they do the Dream 100 and they get the reviews, but the other ones don't want to do the Dream 100 and they don't want to get the reviews. What would you say if you're sitting down with Dave and trying to help Dave?
Look, I think for many people, taking that first step is the hardest move. So what we do, in fact, we just did this with a couple of our brands. Rather than having them create the list, we created the list for them. Okay, we created the list, gave it to them, say, look, here's your 100, here's your 200 businesses. You need to go into these businesses, make an introduction, tell them you would love the opportunity to earn their business and earn your trust. And as old school as that sounds, Clay, people never get tired of hearing that. If I walked into your business, Clay, and say, hey, Clay, here's a sample of my product, I would just love the opportunity to earn your business and earn your trust. When I leave, you're not going to look at me and say, the nerve of that guy to come in here, give me a free sample, and he's asking me if he can have an opportunity to earn my business and earn my trust. As old school as it sounds, as cowboy as it sounds, that type of character never gets old.
Yeah, I agree with you. Now, what would you say to Dave? Again, this is the secret code name because Dave is his name. Dave, has these franchisees that the customers that come into the businesses are very happy. So these franchisees own their own locations and the customers who come in are happy. But the local guy he doesn't want to get the reviews. He says things like, well, I tried, or I was going to ask, but some people just don't want to do it or whatever. And you're looking on the key performance indicator sheet. We in our world, we call it KPIs. Most people will call it key performance indicators or core metrics, or people have different names for that. But basically, we measure what we treasure, and we see these locations that are not succeeding are getting one Google review every 2 weeks when they're seeing like 40 new patients a week. What would you do if you were, working with Super Dave here, or you could mentor Super Dave or give him some advice here? What would you say to him if he's got these local franchisees that just don't want to get the Google reviews?
I think if they don't want to get the Google reviews, Clay, they probably don't understand the power of Google reviews and what Google reviews will do for you in the backset. Essentially, the more popular you become on Google organically, it's like free marketing. It's like free advertising. So clearly they missed the bus. They skipped that day of school of understanding the importance of what Google can mean to you. At the end of the day, if they don't want to do it, your plan B is always, look, if you don't want to do it, let's hire someone who's going to do it. But let's make sure that we train the staff. Once again, Clay, that's the challenge in franchising. Occasionally, you're going to get franchisees that don't want to put in the work, and they have to do one of two things. They have to hire someone that's going to do the work, put the right human capital in place to where those things are done. And the most challenging times, Clay, is when you have a business that's successful, they're cash flowing, and they're going to look at guys like you and I and say, hey, why are you calling on me? Call the guy that's not making money. I'm making money. And what I have to say to them is, look, think about how much money you're leaving on the table by just not putting in the effort. Think about how much you're leaving on the table. If you just put a little effort in, it might pay you back 2 or 3x. So let's just try it. You're going to find it's not as difficult as you think it is. And let's see what the ROI is on that extra 10% of effort that you have to put forth.
Now, switching gears, we had a guy named Mark. We won't give you a last name. His code name is Mark. And I just had a conference, and this guy named Mark, I won't tell you what industry he's in, but I'll tell you he's in the upper Northwest. And Mark came to the conference, and he was in the Past Business Workshop. And just to give people the scene or the setting, we're in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I call it Tulsa, Jerusalem. We're in my office. We're surrounded by thousands of success stories on the walls. I mean, case studies everywhere from real clients that we've really helped. You're seated in a room of 100 people, and probably 30 of the attendees are active clients who are having major success. And he's talking shop with another guy, and he says, I just don't, and it's an interesting story, but Mark was telling another client of ours who's successful. So Mark, who's not a client of mine, is telling a client of mine, it seems like business is just, I don't want it to be so repetitive, because my business is different. I don't feel the need as a contractor to get Google reviews every week and to call, Clay was talking about needing to call an average lead and text every lead until you reach them. And to me, that seems like a little bit of a challenge. And you could tell that he was having a hard time, not with the complexity of what was being taught, but with the idea that he didn't actually want to do the work. So I'd love to get your thoughts on this, because Maya Angelou, the best-selling author, she said, nothing works unless you'll work. And so here we were, Peter, at this conference, and I have a super successful client who's seated next to a guy whose business is not doing well. The guy who's not doing well talks about how, growing a business, just seems so boring. Whereas the other guy loves this information and loves the repetitive tasks. I'd love to just get your thoughts on what it should look like to have a successful company, whether it be a Nautical Bowls or a SnapFitness. I mean, should it be monotonous? Should it be routine? How should it feel to run a successful company?
Well, I think what's the reward of driving a successful business is just that. The consumer is coming in. They love your product. They love the way you deliver it. They love the whole guest experience. That's key. I mean, the type of person that you're describing, honestly, Clay, not everyone is cut out for business. And to me, if you don't want to put in the work, that's okay. But we need to hire someone who's willing to do the work for you if you're not willing to do it, because optimizing efficiencies and performance of a business, it's work. It's something that you get up every day and you do. That's why some people make great business owners and others don't. That doesn't prohibit you from becoming a franchisee. And unfortunately, for us franchisors, we don't learn that many times until after they become a franchisee. So what is our goal? Our goal is to try to lift them. Our goal is to try to mentor them and help them become great operators. And if it's not them, that's okay. It's someone that they hire. That's why we always talk about the importance of good human capital. Surround yourself with great people who are going to get the message, get the vision, and most importantly, are willing to put in the work.
Now, in part two of today's show, we're going to air a success story with a longtime client who's built his auto wrap company and taken it next level. And he's nailed down all the processes, the systems, the website optimization, the marketing, the branding. And Myron has just been a wonderful client to work with. And it's great to see him 7 years into our program, still producing major success. But I know, Peter, who's not a good fit for my program. So when someone goes to thrivetimeshow.com to schedule a free 13-point assessment, I have call screeners that try to make sure I'm not on the phone with people that just wouldn't be a good fit. I would ask you the same question. If you go to nauticalbowls.com, a lot of people want to buy a Nautical Bowls franchise because they see the financial freedom and time freedom it can produce. Who's not a good fit to buy a Nautical Bowls franchise, and who is? If you could kind of go over the character traits or the financial, because we just want to know who financially is a good fit based upon their character attributes. Just kind of walk us through who's a good fit for Nautical Bowls and who isn't.
Well, first of all, I mean, you need to financially qualify. And the good news about our product is it's very minimal. We set the bar fairly low financially. We provide financing for our franchisees. So that's a box that's easy to check. The one that's more difficult is people that actually have the people skills. They smile easy, they lean in, they have that kind of servant attitude. Those are the type of profiles that we look for if we're going to award the Nautical Bowls franchise opportunity to them. So
And,
it's personality.
and I in my world, I call it coachability. So I guess a good example would be the other day I had a friend of mine, Kash Patel. He traveled to Tulsa, Oklahoma. He's a friend of mine. He's an attorney, and he's kind of a high profile guy. And he came to Tulsa. My daughter, who's 19 years old, is leaning in and just really asking questions like, hey, what's it like to be in the White House? Or what's it like? How'd you get your first job? Or before you got into politics, what kind of attorney were you? Where'd you go to school? And they're having this conversation, Peter, and pretty soon my daughter's like, so, what kind of home did you grow up in? And wow, you had 20 people that lived in the same house when your family immigrated here from India? Wow. And the conversation just kept going and going. And the night was awesome because he felt as though people were interested in him, and we were. But there's certain people that, you talk to them and they're not engaged. They don't want to learn how to improve. Would those be the kind of people that you would say, you're not a good fit? Or I'd love to get your thoughts here.
Well, you know what? If people don't fit the profile, it doesn't mean that they can't be an owner of a Nautical Bowls franchisee. Because for many of our franchisees, they're semi-absentee owners. They hire the talent. So we tell them, here's the profile of the type of person you want representing our brand behind the counter. So in many cases, you have an owner. They may be a little bit introverted. They may be a little bit shy. That's okay. If they're not going to be the one driving the bus every day, that's all right. Just give me the person who's going to wake up every day with fire in their belly, that's going to drive the vision and the passion and the guest experience of Nautical Bowls. That's why I love our product. All we do is we sell acai bowls. We do it better than anyone else. And we can teach you. We can teach you how to fish, which is important for any great franchise brand.
Now, a lot of the great franchise brands I've worked with directly have coaching available. Now, there's 3 different ways I find that the coaching is available. Some brands say, hey, we're going to have an annual conference or a biannual conference. Then they have like a weekly call with the franchisees to make sure that they're executing. Some brands have kind of a call when available program where if the local owner needs a call, they can get a call. Some brands do everyone has their own level of coaching. I'm a big fan of the idea of the annual conference and then making sure you have a coach available to answer questions so that the franchisee doesn't drift, so that they start off with big success and they don't drift into oblivion. Tell me about this. When somebody opens up a Nautical Bowls, those first 90 days, without giving away the secret sauce, what kind of coaching do you provide or mentorship for the new franchisees?
Well, once they come into Nautical Bowls University, they leave with a game plan of the first 90 days of their store. And actually running their store, it starts about 30 to 45 days prior to their doors opening. Also, when they leave Nautical Bowls, they've got a dedicated franchise account manager that's at their disposal. Should they have any questions at all on even the day-to-day during their grand opening, somebody that they can pick up the phone, call, and get an immediate answer. They don't go into some dialer program. So that's our support within our system. But the other part of it is it's the simplicity of it. Also, every week we do a Zoom call that everyone in our franchise system is available, can jump on. The first week they get the CEO call, which is myself laying down the vision of the brand. The second and the last week of the month is pure marketing, talking about best practices. And the third week is pure operations. So every week you can hop on a Zoom call and hear from the best in their class on how to drive and build a successful business. And I think that's what franchisees are looking for. They're looking for someone who's going to hold their hand through the process and keep them accountable.
Now, with Nautical Bowls specifically, and again, without giving away all the secret sauce, I'm going to tell you, folks, why I'm a fan of the brand, why I think the brand makes sense. So one is that if you buy a Nautical Bowls, it only requires you to have one full-time employee at the location at a time, maybe a max during peak hours, maybe two. But, you're talking about a business model that doesn't require you to have 15 employees to make it run. You don't have to have a dozen employees. Second thing is it's on trend, but not in a quick trend. It's more of a long trend. America's going healthier. America wants to eat healthier. And Nautical Bowls is a meal replacement. It's not just a snack. And a lot of people are discovering that at nauticalbowls.com. Third is the affordability. You guys have financing options available to make it work for almost anybody who wants to buy a franchise. And again, you've thought through it and have decided to make that very affordable. But the thing I love the most about it is the turnkey stupid marketing. And you say, stupid marketing? No, folks, listen, when you hear stupid, sometimes you feel like it's an attack. No. I'm saying it is so simple that an idiot could run one. And I'm not saying anybody out there is an idiot. I'm just saying that if you were an idiot and you're going, I can't remember how to market a Nautical Bowls, I don't know what I need to do. Well, you'd have to get Google reviews. You'd have to do your Dream 100 reach outs, and you got to wow your customers. And this is, because again, Nautical Bowls and the team there, Peter helps you choose a location where you can't lose. They help you create a product that doesn't lose. But you, every week, I don't understand what I have to do. You got to get Google reviews. You got to do the Dream 100 drop off, and you got to wow your customers. Maybe I'm missing something there, Peter, but the marketing, is really a simple, proven plan. I'd love to get your thoughts about just the marketing. How complex or not complex is the marketing system that you guys have created?
Well, you know what? The good fortune for us is we're in the healthy, fast, casual segment. And we are the hottest category. The acai bowl, that class, it's number one in healthy, fast, casual. So we're in demand. People are still learning about the product, which is exciting. Everyone that tries the product loves it, which I think is fantastic. So the key for us, put the product in people's hands, put the product in their hands, let them try it. Once they try it, they love it, and they're going to come into your store, become a loyalty guest. Our loyalty guests spend 4 times as much money as a regular walk-in customer. Why is that? Because we have the opportunity to blow in their ear through texting and instant messaging. And that's where it's at. It's not billboards, radio, direct mail. It's literally getting people to download our loyalty program. We give them gifts by being loyalty customers of ours. They can earn free bowls. And that's what the consumer is looking for. They're looking for appreciation of them spending their hard-earned dollars. And they also appreciate how much we focus on the guest experience in the store. All of those things coupled together is what make our brand a success. The community and culture, our product, the community and culture within our 4 walls, the product that we create. That's why we're number one in our class. We're the fastest growing acai bowl concept in the country.
So I'll say this, folks, for anybody out there who's coming to our next in-person 2-day business workshop, it's a 2-day interactive business workshop. What we do at our workshops is, one, everybody can afford to go. So we tell people it's $250 or whatever price you can afford. So you can always afford these things. Now, I'm not sure when you're going to see this event, but we do them every 2 months. And so the next one that we have coming up as of the time of the recording of this is December 7th and 8th. And so I'll make my commitment here, Peter. If you come to the December conference, if you can make it, and if you can't, we'll figure out a different one. But if you can, I will buy Nautical Bowls for all the attendees so they can try it out, and we'll stream online. Usually we'll stream. The last one we did, let me pull this up here. The last one that we streamed, let's go here. I'm going to go to our Rumble channel and see. So the last one that we streamed to We had, I don't want to exaggerate the number, don't want to get the number wrong. I don't want to get the number too low or too high. Let's see. Okay. So we had 53,900 people that streamed online. So for those of you who are streaming online, you won't be able to taste the nautical bowls, but for those who are in person, I'll make sure we'll get you nautical bowls. And if we can't do it at the December conference, we'll get you at another one. Peter, people out there, they want to learn more about nautical bowls. They're very interested in scheduling a consultation. Tell us the first step they need to take there, sir.
Simple. Go right to the website, just like you see there, and click on franchise in the upper right. You're going to fill out a very simple questionnaire, and we will reach out to you within 24 hours.
That's the move right there, folks. Again, that's Peter Taunton. And just to be clear here, folks, this man has helped to open up 6,000 locations in 28 countries. I'm taking notes here, folks, making sure I'm getting that right. In 28 countries. And he knows about building a culture of discipline, accountability, and consistency. And if you want to learn more about Nautical Bowls, go to nauticalbowls.com. Peter Taunton, thank you so much for your time, sir. And we'll talk to you next week.
My pleasure. Take care, Clay.
Take care. Bye-bye. Well, ladies and gentlemen, on today's show, we're interviewing an entrepreneur who is kind, who is diligent, who is the kind of person you'd want to hang out with. And I think if you're out there today, we need to understand that money is just a magnifier. Money just makes you more of who you are. And I hear nothing but great things about today's guest and longtime client, Myron. Welcome on to the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
Hey, thanks. I'm doing good.
Hey, so real quick, let's get into your background a little bit here. How did you first hear about us? How long ago was that when we first started coaching or working with you?
So that was, it had been about 6.5 years ago. Steve Currington, one of you guys' longtime clients as well. He actually recommended me to you guys about 6 years ago. And I went to one of your conferences and I was blown away by what I seen at the conference and I had to join.
Now, someone wants to verify you're a real person, and also it might turn into a couple of deals for you. What's your website so people can pull this up and verify you're not a hologram?
Yeah, check us out. whitegloveautotulsa.com.
whitegloveautotulsa.com. So let me pull it up here. whitegloveautotulsa.com. And with White Glove Auto, what are all the services that you guys provide at this point?
So the services that we provide right now are like services like paint protection film for your vehicle to protect its paint, ceramic coating for your paint. It's another form of paint protection. We do window tinting, and then we do vinyl wraps.
So you guys at White Glove Auto, I mean, you guys do quite a few services. Also, these mics I have right here, you guys auto wrap these microphones. Is that accurate, sir?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we printed out that wrap ourselves and we wrap those.
That's awesome. So that's, again, folks, that's White Glove Auto. Now, as far as growth, since we've had the opportunity to serve you, what kind of growth have you seen over these past 6.5 years?
So man, that's the crazy thing. So our growth has been absolutely insane. I averaged it up over the last 8 years I've been in business. We've averaged about a 52% growth year over year, and that is just insane.
So you've grown. If you had to go back 6.5 years from when we started with you to now, do you know what that total growth percentage would be? Are you like 5 times larger or 10 times larger?
Oh man, I mean,
50% of a big number is,
I mean, when I first started with you guys, I think I had just done $100,000 for the whole year. This year, I'm probably going to do 2.1 million.
Wow. So you guys are up 20 times.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, for anybody out there that hasn't worked with a business consultant, I always tell people what we do is very analogous to what a personal trainer does for fitness. And I would also say that what you guys do at White Glove Auto is very similar to what a personal trainer does, but you do it for automobiles. So if you're out there today and you want to auto wrap a vehicle, I guess you could get a manual about it. And I guess you could get all the equipment. And I guess that you could devote usually years to learn the craft and master it and then invest in the physical building to auto wrap your own vehicles. Or you could go to an expert. Can you kind of explain what it's like working with a business coaching program on a week in, week out basis?
Yeah, so like working with the business coaching program is phenomenal. It's something that I'm very glad that I've done. Every week meeting with you guys, for instance, is just nice to know updates on my SEO and how things are going. And anytime I have questions about things I might be stuck on, and being able to have those questions answered has just been great.
And when the meetings, I think one of the things that I think is very important, whether you have a business or you have a business coach, you need to have certain core, repeatable actionable processes that you go every week so you don't drift. There's certain core, repeatable, actionable processes. Could you talk about maybe how those meetings have helped to you to make sure that, that you're not drifting and that your organization is continuing to knock out those core, repeatable, actionable processes?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's one of the biggest things I learned from you guys' meetings is, doing checklists and processes and just making sure I'm doing the same thing every day. And when I go to my meetings, my coach is always following up with me, making sure I'm doing my action items. And if I'm not, he kind of gets a little upset with me. So it keeps me on track. But yeah, learning those processes has definitely been a huge help for us as well.
Can you maybe peel back the onion and maybe share a couple core, repeatable, actionable processes that you have to do every week that might seem kind of mind numbing, but that actually produce results?
Yeah. So, I mean, this is something I do every week. I do actually every day, and that's finances, going over my numbers and seeing my exact expenses and how much money is coming in, how much money is going out. And I do that every single day for about an hour, hour and a half a day. And it's mind numbing, but it's something I got to do. And that's something I learned in Thrive as well, is making sure you're on top of your numbers.
And my understanding is you now are the owner of a Lamborghini. Is this an accurate thing? Did you just buy a Lamborghini?
Yeah. And I did just buy a Lamborghini. It delivers today.
And what does it look like, or what kind, for people out there that don't know what it is? Can you maybe describe it or tell me what kind of Lamborghini is it?
Yeah, it's a 2020 Lamborghini Huracan Evo. It's actually like a purple color. So Viola Pacife is what the color is called. Yep, Huracan Evo.
Got it. And I am not a car guy, so I'm going to just hack away here and see if I can find it. So this is kind of what it looks like, but yours is purple.
Yep, exactly. It's purple. So it's not a convertible either. It's actually the coupe, but that is pretty much what it looks like.
And has this been on your wish list for a long time, or?
It has been. Yeah, it's been on a wish list for a very long time. I can't believe I've actually been able to buy a $300,000 car, but here I am.
Now, let's talk about this for people out there that are thinking about coming to a workshop. I always tell people it's $250 to come to a workshop, or whatever price they want to pay. What can people expect if they come to a workshop?
When we come to a workshop, I mean, even though it's, $250 or, whatever you spend, you're going to get a ton of value out of that. Whenever I go to a workshop that you guys have, I always learn something new every time I go. There's a bunch of information, a bunch of questions that get answered that maybe I didn't know I had. So anyway, it's very, very helpful.
And we'll talk about website edits and graphic design and branding and print pieces. I think a lot of business owners, they have a consultant they hire, and then the consultant they hire tells them, well, you need to go optimize your website, or you need to go launch ads, or you need to go look at your numbers, but they don't actually sit down and help them with their numbers or help them with their website or help them. How has that helped you, having a turnkey, one point of contact, where every week when you meet with our coaching team, after that meeting, you've got a team that's doing the photography, the videography, the web development, the search engine, and kind of helping you with those things behind the scenes?
Oh, it's a huge help. So, I mean, if you guys were just telling me, hey, do this, do that, and not giving me any type of actual coaching on how to do those processes, probably wouldn't do it, because it'd be a little too difficult. Maybe it's a little overwhelming. So it's definitely nice to have a lot of help on the back end from you guys.
Now, let's talk about this idea. In business, there's always a new idea. People like to bring up new ideas and obsess on new ideas and not execute the proven ideas. Can you maybe talk about that? Because I see a lot of wonderful entrepreneurs that reach out to us. They schedule a 13-point assessment, and I find out that for 10 consecutive years, they've been hopping to the idea of the month, the idea of the week, the idea of the hour. And they're always hopping from idea to idea, but they don't actually get anything done. Can you maybe talk about how coaching kind of helps you stay on track with what works?
Yeah, I think really the biggest thing is just having that coach there that's behind you. And every week, like I said, whenever you're meeting with that coach, they're just making sure that you're staying on track. Again, having somebody who's there and knowing that they could get upset with you because you're not staying on track and doing your action items is a huge help. If I didn't have that person behind me kind of helping push me, I don't think some of the stuff would be getting done.
Now, we charge $1,700 a month as of the time of the recording of today's show. $1,700 a month. We operate at a 20% margin for what we do. And we're very clear about that. It's $1,700 a month. It's month to month, and it's 20% margin. With your business model, you guys do auto wraps. And if somebody out there is looking to auto wrap, let's say a truck or a car or a vehicle, What kind of has Andrew been able to help you be intentional about making sure that you're not doing auto wraps where you lose money? Because I know a lot of people in your industry that I've met at conferences that do beautiful wraps, but they found a way to lose money on every transaction. Has Andrew kind of helped on that aspect to make sure that you're profitable?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing is, there's a lot of people out there, a lot of other people that do wraps, like you said, that are just afraid to charge what they want to charge. And one of the things that's helped me, like from Andrew, is just helping me not be afraid to charge what I need to in order to be a profitable business. And I actually get a lot of hate, a lot of shade thrown my way for charging higher prices, but it's what I got to do to run a profitable shop.
Now, this is probably an awkward time to place that order, so I'll put it on the agenda that we share. I need to get 6 more SM58 mics. You know, the ones with the red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
Where it's the red, white, and blue SM58 Shure mic that we have, and it's just the 3 colors. I think the mic itself is blue, and then I think the handle is maybe red or something like that.
Yeah.
I sincerely I wanted to order. I need to get 6 more of those from you.
Yeah,
so for me and for anybody out there that wants to order stuff like that from you, what's the best way to do that?
So if anybody wants to do any type of ordering like that, they can just give us a call at our office number, which is 918-806-2780. And we're happy to help you. Of course, our biggest thing is automotive. We can do automotive anytime, but we like doing little things like the mics or, going out to actual properties and doing some jobs out on site. We like doing a little bit of everything. So yeah, just give us a call. I'm
going to pull this up so people can see what I'm talking about here. So this is the mic here. That's an SM58 mic. It's the mic made by the Shure company. And this is the mic here. It's blue on top. It's got the white, then the red handle there. That's the SM58 mic. And you guys auto wrap those. So I'm going to put that on your agenda with Andrew so you guys can talk about it. But you guys do auto wraps. You guys do mic wraps. Anything else that you wrap that's a common request right now that people are asking you about there, sir?
A common thing here recently has been refrigerators. People want to have their little man caves and, put their cars in their garage and they want to have their refrigerator wrapped with like car logos or whatever it is. So refrigerators, yeah, it's kind of a weird
refrigerator wrapping. That's awesome. And again, final question I have here for you. What would you say for anybody out there thinking about scheduling a free one-on-one consultation by going to thrivetimeshow.com? Maybe they're on the fence. We had a guy I talked to last week who'd been a listener for 7 consecutive years. And he said, I don't know what the deal was. I think I had a phobia of reaching out to you guys. And but he reached out to us, and in 9 months, his company's grown 57%. So in 9 months, he's grown his company by 57%. And on part 2 of today's show, I'm going to introduce our listeners to this man because he's doing really well. What would you say to anybody out there that's thinking about scheduling a consultation, but they have yet to do so?
Man, I say you're making a mistake if you're not reaching out ASAP. You're just holding yourself back. Working with Thrive is one of the best decisions I've ever made for my company. I've been with them for 6.5 years now, and it's something I really, really recommend everybody do. Well, brother, I appreciate your time. I know you're a busy guy. Thanks for carving out time for us again, folks. That website is whitegloveautotulsa.com. You can auto wrap a refrigerator. You can auto wrap a mic. You can auto wrap a Lamborghini, which now Myron now owns. So if you want to buy a Lamborghini from Myron, maybe he'll sell you he just bought it, but maybe he'll sell you his new Lamborghini at a reasonable markup. We'll see, folks. So you can buy a Lamborghini from Myron. You can buy an auto wrapped refrigerator. You can buy an auto wrapped microphone. You can buy all of those wonderful things at whitegloveautotulsa.com. Myron, thank you for carving out time for us. I really do appreciate you. No problem, man. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Well, Thrive Nation, on part 1 of today's show, we talked to a guy by the name of Myron Kirkpatrick. Now, Myron Kirkpatrick, as you just heard, is a guy that just bought his first Lamborghini. And you might say, well, that's awesome for him. Well, the thing about Myron is Myron heard that his buddy, Steve Currington, just bought a Lamborghini. And so he had that curiosity, and he said, well, you're a mortgage guy. How is it possible that you just bought a Lamborghini? Man, you must be doing a lot of mortgages. And Steve said, I am doing a lot of mortgages. In fact, a lot of them, a ton of mortgages. In fact, if you go to stevecurrington.com, I'm the mortgage guy. And Myron says, well, how are you doing a lot of mortgages? And he says, well, I've got a proven system. And I've been working with this guy, Clay Clark. And he says, you've been working with Clay Clark? And so next thing you know, Myron, as you just heard, folks, he became a client 6.5 years ago, and he just is having his Lamborghini delivered today, his brand new Lamborghini. His business has grown by 20 times. And all it was a quick conversation that caused a complete change in his destination. So what am I saying? Today's guest has been a longtime client, and I believe that he has a solution for you that may just change your life. This is a man who has built a business and a system that has grown and scaled. He's been a longtime client. We have a lot of confidence in what he does. I have confidence in him as a person. I endorse him as a person. I endorse his company. I endorse what he stands for. He's the founder of a company called Window Ninjas. And over the past 3 years, we've had the honor to work with him. His company has continued to grow. And now he's to a place in space where he's offering franchising, which means he's going to allow you to use his super proven recipe, if you want to, for a fee. So nothing further ado, Gabe Salinas from Window Ninjas. Welcome on to the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
I am wonderful, Clay. Glad to be here.
I got to ask you, when was that moment in your life when you thought, you know what? I think I'm going to open up my own business. Do you remember where you were or when you had that thought of, you know what, I'm things are going well, or maybe things aren't going well, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a change. I'm going to make the first step, maybe make the first call, maybe start my own company. Or when did that aha moment happen for you?
Early on in my life, Clay, I've always been an entrepreneur, and I've always been interested in business. So as a youngster growing up, I was always hustling. I was always going out and knocking on doors so I could cut somebody's grass and earn some money, and doing all those little things, washing cars, as you do as a kid. But I was always interested in entrepreneurship, being my own boss, opening my own business. And man, early on in my life, I just kind of continued to have that mentality. And I knew probably right around the age of 19, 20 that I was going to do my own thing. Is really when I was committed fully to really focus on my business.
So when did you start WindowNinjas.com? When was that moment where you started WindowNinjas.com?
We started Window Ninjas almost 3.5 years ago, going on our 4th year. Actually, 2, 3. What year is this? Yeah. And so at any rate, I had actually opened up a franchise early on in my youth, and had ran with that for quite a number of years. And it allowed me to be able to see what a poorly run franchise system was like. And over a 10-year span of dealing with that specific franchise system, I gained a lot of knowledge. Good things to do, bad things, not to do. And it just kind of turned my mental state into, I was going to get out of this bad franchise system at some point, and then turn myself into my own entity, and then build a good franchise system. So I was kind of driven to things in a little bit different manner than most.
And you have how many locations now of WindowNinjas.com?
We currently operate in 12 different cities throughout 4 states.
And for just some context, so people out there know, with Myron, he was talking about, we've worked with Myron for almost 7 years at this point. When did you and I first connect? How long ago was that?
Right around 3.5 years ago, right when we opened up Window Ninjas, probably, I guess, well, no, forgive me, Clay, I'm getting old, but, so if I go back in time, me and you've been together since right around 3.5 years, and then coming up on almost 4 now. And then I think about it, I think we started in August.
Yeah.
And then we've actually had Window Ninjas for 3 years prior, 2 to 3 years prior to that. So I actually, 5 to 6 years we've had Window Ninjas.
And you guys have grown over the past, on the tracking sheet over the past 3.5 years that we've been with you, I think you guys have doubled the business. And now you guys, is that accurate? You've doubled. Your business is rocking.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So there's got to be somebody listening right now, and you're like, man, I kind of want to own my own business, and I don't know the first thing about owning one, or where I would even start. Kind of guide people through, what does that first step look like if somebody wants to learn about opening a Window Ninjas franchise?
Well, the first step's pretty easy. If you just go to my website at WindowNinjas.com and click on the little franchise page link, it'll show you some information there. You can simply fill out a form at the request service page as well. But just send me an email, put your information in there. Let me know that you're interested in franchising out, and I will get that email, and then we will start the conversation. We'll make a phone call, set up an introductory meeting, and go over the things of what it takes to be a Window Ninjas franchise owner. And I'll get to know a little bit about them as well.
Now, this isn't a backhanded compliment. I'm just trying to give people some context. This is a client I've worked with for a long time, the Co-Laws. We've worked with them since 2017. We're now in 2013. Their business has grown quite a bit. And if you wanted to open up a Co-Law fitness location, what you'd have to do is, spend $1 million to open up a huge building and to buy all that equipment. And then you'd have to train all those people. And that's what it looks like to own a Co-Law fitness. I mean, you have to get a big building, a lot of equipment, train a big staff, and that's what it looks like to open a Co-Law fitness company. If you scroll up here, this is all from my newest book. You go to thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire, and you can download this book. It's thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire. And this is a millionaire's guide, how to become sustainably rich. You can download it for free at thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire. Now you look at that and you go, wow, the Co-Laws are successful, but I don't have that first $1 million sitting around. Well, Napoleon Hill, the best-selling author, says here, drifting without aim or purpose is the first cause of failure. So if you know you're not going to have $1 million sitting around to buy your own fitness company, what I would recommend you do is get realistic and set some SMART goals and say, how can I go about opening my own business now? Like, what is the most realistic path for you? And I think for a lot of people, a great place to start is to open up a franchise, open up a proven system that's been shown to work time and time again. So how much money are we talking about? If someone wants to if someone says, I don't have $1 million to open up a Co-Law, but I do want to open a business. How much does it cost to open up a Window Ninjas?
It's not as much as $1 million, Clay. We're a little bit more reasonable than that. I'm not saying that Co-Law is not reasonable.
Sure.
However, with us, you got a $50,000 franchise fee. And then you're purchasing your truck, your equipment packages, things of that nature. New vehicles today are running about $50K. So all in, to open up a window and pressure cleaning company with us here at Window Ninjas, you're looking right around the $150,000 mark, give or take about $25K on either side, depending on what type of package that the individual wants to purchase.
So this is a thing where, this is a business that it isn't $1 million to get started. Now, if somebody gets started with you guys, the first step is to schedule a consultation. And that consultation is just to find out if you're a good fit, to ask, any questions, to see if it's a good timing, good fit. But I want to go over kind of the most commonly asked questions. So I've got 5 rapid fire questions for you. One, does anyone have to have any experience in the window cleaning business, or the window cleaning, the gutter cleaning, the pressure washing, the chimney sweeping, or the dryer vent cleaning business before they need to get started with you?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Second is, does somebody have to already have a vehicle? Does somebody already have to have a warehouse? Does somebody have to have a big business acumen before they get started with you?
If they had a vehicle, we would prefer it to be a white truck, because that is what we utilize. GMC is the brand that we use as well. So if they had that, that would be a step in the right direction. And as far as business acumen, absolutely not. I mean, if they are typically, what we find, Clay, is that people that may not have had their own business are typically inclined to have their own business, are already in that business mindset. They want to work for themselves. They want more time freedom and financial freedom. And they know the best way to do it is to start a business or open up a business that has already been franchised out.
Now, one of the mind-numbing things involved in owning a company is that discovering that you always have to answer the phone. And Window Ninjas or an OxyFresh, these are 2 franchises that I'm involved with. I'm just trying to give people some context. I believe in this model. This is kind of how I try to do it. But if you buy a tip-top canine franchise, obviously you have to love dogs. If you open up an OxyFresh franchise, there's 507, I think, locations open as of right now. So you have to find a territory that's open. If you go to a Window Ninjas, it's a growing brand, and so there's much more availability. But with all 3 of the brands, the phone does not ring to the local owner. So when the phone rings, a scheduling center or a call center answers the phone. Kind of explain to our listeners how that works.
It's pretty simple, and it's a huge benefit for the companies like ours that actually have a call center that takes all of the phone calls and does all the scheduling. It's pretty much that we set up a local phone number for the specific location. That phone number rings into our call center, and one of the many 10 to 12 agents that we have will pick that phone call up and facilitate the needs of that specific client. And it's really huge, Clay. For example, I was talking to somebody yesterday in Utah, and they were asking me about my call center, and they were actually asking me about you as well. We had a good conversation about franchising, but they also were amazed that we had this call center. These are guys that do like auto detailing, boat detailing, and they even detail planes. And they got these mobile detailing service, and they actually have a shop too. And I told them about my call center, and they were like, "Wow, that's huge. We never thought of that." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "How would you like to be waxing the Lamborghini or putting a nice fresh coat of wax on the airplane, and then have to answer a phone call, and then you forget where you're at on the airplane, and then you're taking and facilitating the need of the client over here and trying to schedule it, and you're kind of multitasking." And when it was kind of like a light bulb went off in their head, and they were like, "Wow, that's a huge benefit." I said, "Absolutely. It's a benefit to the client, and it's also a benefit to the franchisee. We take that step out of their hands, and it allows them to be able to do the great things with the individual customers that they're working with day to day."
And I think that is just absolutely a home run, and a lot of details to go behind your excellent call center. As you guys have call recording in place, you have proven call scripts in place, you have ongoing call training and mentorship for your representatives who work for you. You have a turnkey hiring system, so you always have a great call center team that you're always coaching and mentoring up. There's so much value there. The next is the proven turnkey advertisement. I think a lot of people get stressed out about buying a business because they think, how would I possibly generate leads? And I know I have a kind of a confirmation bias because we've worked with you to help you build those systems. I know your systems work well, but maybe explain to people a little bit of the detail of the turnkey marketing system that you provide to franchisees.
Well, with your help, Clay, we've been able to really dive into the nitty gritty with our marketing plan. We always run AdWords. We manage those AdWord campaigns for each one of our locations. And then just to the production of content, whether it be content that we're putting on YouTube or blog articles that we're writing, or just other content articles that we're writing. We produce a lot of content every single day that is relevant to the industries that we service. And within that content, we are optimizing that content so that it ranks high on Google. And we typically become the first item when somebody's searching for one of our services. We're popping up there. Most of the time, you'll find that it's an article that we've written or a blog post that we've written about something that the consumer actually has questions about concerning our specific services that we offer.
Now, one more thing, and I'll kind of wrap it up with this. You guys really look at the numbers too. A lot of people worry about owning a business because they say, I don't know what I would do with my accounting. I don't know about the legal. I don't know about the numbers. There's kind of a phobia around the numbers and the finances of a company. And you guys have really thought through the numbers. And when someone schedules a consultation, you'll go over those numbers with people in your open book, and it really helps people to have that confidence. But can you maybe talk about the numbers and just knowing the margins and knowing the pricing and knowing what you're going to charge for things? Because I think that's a big benefit that you offer as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, you definitely got to charge the right amount in order to make the right amount, right? We've taken all of that and just dialed it down. We're looking at numbers on a day-to-day basis to make sure that we are charging the right amount, that we're making the right amount of profit that we intend to have. We're making sure that the numbers add up so that the employees get paid properly. If there's any deductions, or maybe there's a coupon or a giveaway that a consumer is going to get, we got to make sure those numbers are right. But there's a lot of stuff that goes into looking at the numbers on a day-to-day basis, making sure that our vendors are getting paid and things of that nature. But we really dialed all of that in, and that's part of the benefit of being in our franchise system, is that we teach every one of our franchises the nuts and bolts of the accounting as well. So it's more than just cleaning a piece of glass or pressure washing a house, but it's actually running the business and having the business serve you.
So if I'm listening right now, I want to get a hold of you guys. Again, Gabe, a lot of our listeners are driving while they listen to the show. What's the first step people need to take today, sir?
First step would be visit our website. Go to windowninjas.com. That's ninjas with an S. And just browse our website. Go to the franchise link on there. Fill out that form. You can find a form on pretty much any of our pages. But, take that first step. Just send me an email. Give us a call, whichever one you want to do. We're always happy to facilitate the needs of somebody that's interested in working with our team over here at Window Ninjas.
Hey, brother, thank you so much for carving out time. And again, that's windowninjas.com. That's Gabe Salinas with windowninjas.com. Gabe, have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Clay. Have a great one. Keep shining.
The number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year. We are Jared and Jennifer Johnson. We own Platinum Pest and Lawn and are located in Owasso, Oklahoma. And we have been working with Thrive for business coaching for almost a year now.
Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to share some wins with you guys that we've had by working with Thrive. First of all, we're on the top page of Google now. Okay. I just want to let you know what type of accomplishment this is. Our competition, Orkin, Terminex, They're both $1.3 billion companies. They both have 2,000 to 3,000 pages of content attached to their website. So to basically go from virtually non-existent on Google to up on the top page is really saying something. But that's come by being diligent to the systems that Thrive has, by being consistent and diligent on doing podcasts and staying on top of those podcasts to really help with getting up on with their listing and ranking there with Google.
And also we've been trying to get Google reviews, asking our customers for reviews. And now we're the highest rated and most reviewed pest and lawn company in the Tulsa area. And that's really helped with our conversion rate. And the number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year.
Wait, say that again. How much are we up?
411%.
Okay, so 411% we're up with our new customers. Amazing.
Right. So not only do we have more customers calling in, we're able to close those deals at a much higher rate than we were before. Right now, our closing rate is about 85%, and that's largely due to, first of all, like our Google reviews that we've gotten people really see that our customers are happy, but also we have a script that we follow. And so when customers call in, they get all the information that they need. That script has been refined time and time again. It wasn't a one and done deal. It was a system that we followed with Thrive in the refining process, and that has obviously the 411% shows that system works.
Yeah, so here's a big one for you. So last week alone, our booking percentage was 91%. We actually booked more deals, more new customers last year than we did the first 5 months, or I'm sorry, we booked more deals last week than we did the first 5 months of last year from before we worked with Thrive. So again, we booked more deals last week than the first 5 months of last year. And it's incredible. But the reason why we have that success is by implementing the systems that Thrive has taught us and helped us out with. So.
Some of those systems that we've implemented are group interviews. That way we've really been able to come up with a really great team. We've created and implemented checklists. That way everything gets done and it gets done right. It creates accountability. We're able to make sure that everything gets done properly, both out in the field and also in our office. And also doing the podcast, like Jared had mentioned, that has really, really contributed to our success. But that, like I said, the diligence and consistency in doing those and that system has really, really been a big blessing in our lives. And also, it's really shown that we've gotten the success from following those systems.
Yeah. So before working with Thrive, we were basically stuck. Really no new growth with our business. And we were in a rut and we didn't know.
The last 3 years, our customer base had pretty much stayed the same. We weren't shrinking, but we weren't really growing either.
Yeah, and so we didn't really know where to go, what to do, how to get out of this rut that we're in. But Thrive helped us with that. They implemented those systems. They taught us those systems. They taught us the knowledge that we needed in order to succeed. Now it's been a grind. Absolutely, it's been a grind this last year. But we're getting those fruits from that hard work and the diligent effort that we're able to put into it. So again, we were in a rut. Thrive helped us get out of that rut. And if you're thinking about working with Thrive, quit thinking about it and just do it. Do the action, and you'll get the results. It will take hard work and discipline, but that's what it's going to take in order to really succeed. So we just want to give a big shout out to Thrive, a big thank you out there to Thrive. We wouldn't be where we're at now without their help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Moore. I'm a pediatric dentist. Through our new digital marketing plan, we have seen a marked increase in the number of new patients that we're seeing every month, year over year. 1 month, for example, we went from 110 new patients the previous year to over 180 new patients in the same month. And overall, our average is running about 40 to 42% increase month over month, year over year. The group of people required to implement our new digital marketing plan is immense, starting with a business coach, videographers, photographers, web designers. Back when I graduated dental school in 1985, nobody advertised. The only marketing that was ethically allowed in everybody's eyes was mouth-to-mouth marketing. By choosing to use the services, you're choosing to use a proven turnkey marketing and coaching system that will grow your practice and get you the results that you're looking for. I went to the University of Oklahoma College of Dentistry, graduated in 1983, and then I did my pediatric dental residency at Baylor College of Dentistry from 1983 to 1985.
Hello, my name is Charles Colaw with Colaw Fitness. Today I want to tell you a little bit about Clay Clark and how I know Clay Clark. Clay Clark has been my business coach since 2017. He's helped us grow from 2 locations to now 6 locations. We're planning to do 7 locations in 7 years and then franchise. And Clay has done a great job of helping us navigate anything that has to do with like running the business, building the systems, the checklists, the workflows, the audits, how to navigate lease agreements, how to buy property, how to work with brokers and builders. This guy is just amazing. He's this kind of guy has worked in every single industry. He's written books with like Lee Crockrell, head of Disney, with the 40,000 cast members. He's friends with like Mike Lindell. He does Reawaken America tours, where he does these tours all across the country where 10,000 or more people show up to some of these tours. On the day-to-day, he does anywhere from about 160 companies. He's at the top. He has a team of business coaches, videographers, and graphic designers and web developers, and they run 160 companies every single week. So think of this guy with a team of business coaches running 160 companies. So in the weekly, he's running 160 companies. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's doing Reawaken America tours. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's also doing business conferences where 200 people show up, and he teaches people a 13-step proven system that he's done and worked with billionaires, helping them grow their companies. So I've seen guys from startups go from startup to being multimillionaires, teaching people how to get time freedom and financial freedom through the system. Critical thinking, document creation, putting it into organizing everything in their head to building into a franchisable, scalable business. Like one of his businesses has like 500 franchises. That's just one of the companies or brands that he works with. So amazing guy. Elon Musk kind of like smart guy. He kind of comes off sometimes as socially awkward, but he's so brilliant and he's taught me so much. When I say that, like Clay is like, he doesn't care what people think when you're talking to him. He cares about where you're going in your life and where he can get you to go. And that's what I like most about him. He's like a good coach. A coach isn't just making you feel good all the time. A coach is actually helping you get to the best you. And Clay has been an amazing business coach. Through the course of that, we became friends. I was really most impressed with him is when I was shadowing him one time. We went into a business deal and listened to it. I got to shadow and listen to it. And when we walked out, I knew that he could make millions on the deal. And they were super excited about working with him. And he told me, he's like, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to turn it down, because he knew it was going to harm the common good of people in the long run. And the guy's integrity just really wowed me. It brought tears to my eyes to see that this guy, his highest desire was to do what's right. And anyways, just an amazing man. So anyways, impacted me a lot. He's helped navigate anytime I've got nervous or worried about how to run the company, or navigating competition and an economy that's like, I remember we got closed down for 3 months. He helped us navigate on how to stay open, how to get back open, how to just survive through all the COVID shutdowns, lockdowns.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us. This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. See, it's nice, right? So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood. This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that You guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
The Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the highest and most reviewed business workshops on the planet. You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.
Hey, I'm Ryan Wimpy with Tip Top Canine, and I'm the founder.
I'm Rachel Wimpy, and I am a co-founder.
So we've been running Tip Top for about the last 14 years, franchising for the last 3-4 years. So someone that'd be a good fit for Tip Top loves dogs, they're high energy, they want to be able to own their own job, but they don't want to worry about, that high failure rate. They want to do that like bowling with bumper lanes.
So you give us a call, reach out to us, and we'll call you, and then we'll send you an FDD, look over that, read it, fall asleep to it, it's very boring, and then we'll book a discovery day, and you come and you can spend a day or two with us, make sure that you actually like it, make sure training dogs is something that you want to do.
So an FDD is a franchise disclosure document. It's a federally regulated document that goes into all the nitty-gritty details of what the franchise agreement entails.
So who would be a good fit to buy a Tip Top Canine would be somebody who loves dogs, who wants to work with dogs all day as their profession. You'll make a lot of money, you'll have a lot of fun, it's very rewarding. And who would not be a good fit is a cat person.
So the upfront cost for Tip Top is $43,000. And a lot of people say they're generating doctor money, but on our disclosure, the numbers are anywhere from over $1 million a year in dog training, what our Oklahoma City location did last year, to 25, 35 grand a month.
To train and get trained by us for Tip Top Canine, to run your own Tip Top Canine, you would be with us for 6 weeks here in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
So we've been married for 7 years.
8 years.
8 years. So if you're watching this video, you're like, hey, maybe I want to be a dog trainer. Hey, that one sounds super amazing. Go to our website, tiptopcanine.com, click on the yellow franchising tab, fill out the form, and Rachel and I will give you a call. Our Oklahoma City location last year, they did over $1 million. He's been running that shop for 3 years. Before, he was a youth pastor with 0 sales experience, 0 dog training experience before he ever met with us.
So just call us, come spend a day with us, spend a couple days with us, make sure you like training dogs, and own your own business.
Well, the biggest reason to buy a Tip Top Canine is so you own your own job and you own your own future, and you don't hate your life. You get an enjoyable job that brings a lot of income but is really rewarding.
My name is Seth Flint, and I had originally heard about Tip Top Canine through my old pastors who I worked for. They trained their Great Pyrenees with Ryan and Tip Top K9. They did a phenomenal job and became really good friends with Ryan and Rachel. I was working at a local church, and it was a great experience. I ended up leaving there and working with Ryan and Tip Top K9. The biggest thing that I really enjoy about being self-employed is that I can create my own schedule. I have the ability to spend more time with my family, my wife, and my daughter. So my very favorite thing about training dogs with Tip Top K9 is that I get to work with the people. Obviously, I love working with dogs, but it's just so rewarding to be able to train a dog that had serious issues, whether it's behavioral or whatever, and seeing a transformation, taking that dog home, and mom and dad are literally in tears because of how happy they are with the training. If somebody is interested, I'd say don't hesitate. Make sure you like dogs. Make sure that you enjoy working with people because we're not just dog trainers. We are customer service people that help dogs, and so definitely don't hesitate. Just come in and ask questions. Ask all the questions you have.